Due to the explosion of indie games over the last decade, it's hard to deny that some of the best games being put out in our current era are games developed by small indie studios. Juggernaut titles like Celeste, Spelunky, Stardew Valley, and The Binding of Isaac have paved the way for what an indie title can become, and with it, brought about an indie game renaissance that shows no sign of slowing down. Arguably one of the most influential titles of this indie boom was Undertale, the friendly RPG where no one has to die. This indie RPG developed by Toby Fox shot into mainstream popularity and became a cultural icon in 2015, and it's easy to see why. This game breaks the mold by having actual likable characters in an RPG. It's hard not to get engrossed with the shenanigans of the Scala Bros or begin to discover who Undyne really is and, well, tolerate Alphys. The humor in this game is impeccable, and its witty, self-aware personality has had me laughing at the most unexpected places. This game completely deserved the popularity that it got, and it's wonderful to see Toby Fox's success. As 2015 came to an end and hype for the game began to slow down, a quiet period would soon follow in which not much would happen involving Undertale besides some ports of the games to various consoles. It wouldn't be until October 30th of 2018 when the community would get a surprising announcement via the form of the Undertale Twitter page.
Welcome. Have you been looking for me?
No, I really haven't been looking for you, actually. I don't even know who you are.
What? Okay then. Here, just take this game demo.
Boom. All of the characters we remember from Undertale are here on the surface, living their lives happily. Now, I'm not here to delve into all of the story bits of Deltarune since there are so many videos that have done it way better than I have, and a lot of the info we have right now is just speculation until further chapters are released. What I am here to talk about is why I personally enjoyed Deltarune a lot more than Undertale. Now, before you go screaming at me in the comments that Undertale's better, I think it's important for you viewers to take into account my opinions and at least listen to them. You may not agree with me, and that's perfectly fine, but at least give them a listen and feel free to discuss in the comments. Now, the first thing I want to talk about when it comes to Deltarune is its music. Video game music is incredibly important to me, and the sequel to the game with one of the best game soundtracks ever needs to have a good soundtrack. Luckily, Deltarune delivers in every way possible with an incredible soundtrack that I think fits the game perfectly. Some of the highlight tracks include Field of Hopes and Dreams, Scarlet Forest, and of course, I don't think I really need to explain why Rude Buster is amazing. It's the perfect RPG battle song that gets the blood pumping and gets you ready to play. Combine this with the fun combat system that Deltarune has, and you actually have a fun RPG combat system. Deltarune's battle system is a much needed expansion of Undertale's combat system. Undertale worked for what it was, but it's clear that the same kind of system wouldn't work well for Deltarune due to the fact that there are now multiple party members. If anything, Deltarune's combat system is more of a direct upgrade from Undertale. You still have the bullet hell elements from Undertale, but the attacks feel a lot snappier and dynamic due to the better animation quality. Speaking of animation quality, all the battles are now in full color as opposed to Undertale's monochromatic color scheme. This makes battles look beautiful and the animations are swift and fluid. Now, I can keep gushing about the battle system, but there's a lot more I want to talk about, so let's get into the second reason that I really like Deltarune, and that's the characters. Now, Undertale had some amazing characters, but I feel like what was missing was interactions between the characters in the game. Unless you're on the pacifist route, characters barely ever interact with each other besides Sans and Papyrus. It's always about their interactions with you, the player, which is perfectly fine. However, I feel as though the amount of interaction the characters have with each other is lacking. Deltarune fixes this problem by, well, you'll just see. These interactions are what really makes the game for me. The characters are super likable and fun to watch, and the character growth that Susie goes through is amazing and really makes me look forward to the future chapters. And now, let me go over the final reason I like Deltarune. That reason would be that it leaves the door open for the story to unfold. Releasing the game in chapters is a really smart move on Toby Fox's part, as it allows the hype for the game to stay alive over the course of multiple years. This also means we wouldn't be waiting 5 years for the next Toby Fox game, and we'd hopefully be getting much more consistent content. As of right now, all we know about Chapter 2's development is that it's going well and Toby is grateful for the patience. 2 songs from the chapter and some screenshots from the game have been shared, but other than that we really don't know much about the second chapter. Having recently replayed Deltarune after not playing it since launch, I gotta say, this game is really shaping up to be one of the greats. I'm hopeful that Chapter 2 is going to be even better than Chapter 1 in its story, visual, and sound departments, and I'm really excited to see what Toby does next. Thanks to all my wonderful viewers for watching. Consider subscribing as it helps out the channel and keeps me motivated to keep working on these videos. See you next time, and remember, don't forget.
When the light is running low and the shadows start to grow and the places that you know seem like fantasy,